Alright, welcome to another edition of GoogleIsEvil, an update video, and such. So I did make two videos this week, Christopher 7 reply videos. I have to admit they're really not about exactly what he's saying. I'm just using the concepts brought up and, contextualizing them in what I think is a more precise and truthful, real context. So, no offense. I think we probably agree more than we disagree, probably. But that is the interesting part, is it's how people emphasize a point. It has a lot to do with whether they're for or against, So it just gets to be this little subtle verbiage about good guys, bad guys, and little subtle arguments that make the difference between being comfortable with what somebody says. Again, I could say yes, my philosophy has a lot to do. It's very similar to Buddhism. It had a big part of it, this whole acknowledgement of the existence of suffering, hugely important, but it's clearly not the same thing. So even though that big giant part of it's made out of the same thing in a sense, it's not the same thing. It's fundamentally different, and but people can perceive it as the same even though it's not the same thing. It's like platypus and duck. They have these similarities that seem to connect the two, but there really is no connection in their substance. Nothing didn't come from the same place. It's it has no common ancestor, so to speak. No common ancestor before salamander, after salamander. But anyway, anyway, yeah. So yeah, we agree, but it seems there's a kernel of something that's where the agreement is it's moving around, so you can't really say whether it's the same thing. It's different, like seaweed is different from trees. They can move in the wind, so to speak. They can do a lot of things that look the same, but they're not the same. All right. I guess I don't know. That's not the the platypus duck is probably a better metaphor. We can quack like each other, but perhaps we're really not the same. That's all. Yeah, so I'll play a little bit of this just to jump through it. I think it's a pretty good video. Hits a lot of good concepts, I think. So blah, 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 blah.
Time.
That part you don't need.
Yeah. Which way should I go? I guess I should go this way a little bit.
Oh, you don't need that part either.
They're going to observe
much better than that.
Holy shit, I've landed in hell.
Yeah, so, that's just the idea that, look, philosophically, we're all stuck in the same position where we just land here on Earth, as this machine that looks and sees and tries to understand. And so we should be able to do that in some sort of, not hostile and productive way where we compare each other's observations and say, look, this is what I see. How do you not see that, right? It's right in front of me. I can't miss it. How do you miss it? This really shouldn't be that difficult. And frankly, I'm just saying from my interaction with the universe, what I see is solid. But, just bringing this up is just kind of funny just because, I'm having a real hard time arguing some basic physics truths with people. And they're so obvious, in my opinion, that they just can't be denied. And it's just so funny that there's just all this denial that they won't include these facts in their picture. That somehow they just won't allow it to be in their picture. It's not like there's some reason they're hostile to the. You're not going to fix my perception with the truth. I don't want the truth, and that's almost what they're aggressively saying is, I don't want the truth. I don't want the truth. That's a little bit irritating, and there's not much. I can't do much with that. I can only do my half, which is make a reasoned argument. I can't make you people reasonable. Preface to what the mission here is just trying to explain this old Yeller circumstance that we're in. Right. So I just, it's always just trying to explain that, yes, this is what we see, okay? And this is so some people like Piro think we're not in any kind of trouble. There's no big deal, nothing much at stake. Billions of people suffering, you lose a billion here, lose a billion there, who cares? It's just so, you're just saying, how can you possibly see it that way? How do you possibly look at this and not see? The stakes are hugely high, and you're finger painting, the blueprint of the plan. I mean, it's ridiculous. Your plan sucks. It's so trivial and silly. Come on. All right. Jump ahead thing. And so women were perceived not as... Okay, so there was a little bit of biblical talk. It doesn't have much value, but again, that's just another big part of this whole project is, I'm looking at the world. It always seemed... God seemed a silly answer. I mean, I couldn't even make it out of what I'm looking at, right? I'm looking at stuff right here, and there's no way I could even construct where I could actually change the truth, and I could manipulate it and make a God work. It didn't make any sense. What was God thinking forever? It took him forever to think of, let's torture human beings and a bunch of animals too? I mean, that's the kind of idea you have after you think about it forever? That's the idea you come up with? Holy shit, you got an infinite amount of intelligence and this is what you come up with? Come on. You can't possibly make that out of these facts, this belief. If anything, you could, believe in a drunk God or a stupid, I'm a very good creator. I mean, make up a crazy or stupid God, but I mean, to make up a deliberately intelligent God that makes all of these errors? Come on. You can't be this stupid. How do you make that out of this reality? I'm looking at it right here, all this clutter. I can't see any of that in there. There's no possibility. Nonsense. And then you learn a little bit of science and a little physics, and you understand it's all the energy is moving and all this stuff. There's no God in here anywhere. There's no creation. There's evolution. So anyway. But it's a huge problem. I mean, most of the world is just completely erased reality and replaced it with a cartoon. A cartoon. Ugh. Price paid for me being here and whatever I did to the world in those decades. So this is the nihilist argument that because I die, you don't undo what I experienced, and you don't undo what I did to the world, what it experienced because of me. All of the happiness and the sadness all is real, and it really happened, and it's a real price paid, and you just can't make it go away and say it didn't happen. It's part of the book. It's a page in the book. All the pages matter. The present page happens to be the one that's, whoa, it's right here in front of us. But it's just a page. The future page matters just as much, and certainly the past pages matter. They all matter. It's just silly to say doesn't matter. Once the book is written, it's not a book full of pages, full of real events. No, they're all real events. They don't need to happen today. They could have happened yesterday, or they could happen tomorrow. And it just doesn't matter which place they're in. They still matter. I mean, how people can see this happening and say, trivialize it into non-existence and say it doesn't matter. I mean, yeah, come on. No, that can't be the right answer. At least it'd be acknowledging that, oh yes, I made some effort to become one of these things. But again, it wouldn't almost matter. You could... All right, so this is about this struggle, compromising between your personal ability to live a life that's somewhat tolerable and, survivable. You really just can't imagine people dying of cancer all day long. You won't survive that. You'll lose your appetite and die, and lots of, so yeah, we have to role play, and you have to, you can't be in the foxhole all day. You have to go home and watch some TV and then go back. It's the way it is. You have to compromise with the urgency of your personal welfare, and the fact that your body will, and your psychology will not allow you to work towards the extended purpose because it wants attention. It's designed to be a single player. It's not designed to be recognizing it's in a multiplayer game. Good point, I think. What's the meaning of the axe murderer's life? Or, you know, yeah, we're all conscious animals, cat, dog, frog, whatever, and we'll all have a story to tell. Right, so I guess this is more just pointing out that they're all real stories, they're all blah blah blah, they all have to be accounted for, and some of them are benign in the sense that, you know, no great bad or no great good, but most of them carry with them substantial portions of value exchange. All right. I'm the one who has to eat it. You know, they step in it, put it in their pocket, and then shove it down my throat. Right. So this is the whole idea of the future is going to be complaining, you know, of why did they keep doing this? Why did these morons in the past keep sentencing us to experience this, to have to go through this process over and over and over again? What selfish douchebags. How much time did they spend thinking about the fact that they're going to keep force-feeding this garbage, and they're going to keep torturing, torture, all because, you know, they didn't want to look like they weren't on the right team, you know, just to be a fake, you know, member of the club. Ugh. Any human with any kind of logical processing and anything like a reasonable sensibilities, it should trigger concern. Okay, so I don't know exactly what that was in reference to, but obviously good that we are. This, it shouldn't be to anyone, you know, these stakes, again, all these, how much, you know, you're going to torture something. That's the price going to be paid. And, you know, if you're going to sign up for that, account for it. And people who care about that kind of stuff, yes, as soon as you say, okay, we're going to have to torture some stuff, they'll pay attention. You know, their eyes open and they're like, yeah, that matters. And it's not rational, really, to say it doesn't matter. The price is irrelevant. No, it's relevant. So anyway, good video, I think. And the previous one done earlier in the week was also good, I think. And so some good stuff on the website. So you have to go to the link in the comment or in the description of the video. The little top link will say something like, whatever the title of this video is, Focus on the Truth. And anyway, you go to that link and this little page will show up and you click the little play button and the video plays. So yeah, so that's how you go see the actual video that I actually made. Okay, yeah. This is a different video about those videos. Just the idea that you have to explain this, you know, you're saying, oh yeah, you have to explain this to people and they're going to get any of this other stuff. I mean, you know, no chance. So, yeah, we're in full idiocracy, frankly. Ring the bell and subscribe and say hello and Patreon and such. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Don't forget to wipe your butts. After you poo, not all the time, just after you poo. You have to explain everything to them. Anyway, yeah, that's enough of a video. I'm just looking. Yeah. Yeah, is it enough? Yeah, it's enough. So anyway, till the next time. Yeah, I'm probably going to do something similar until I figure out how to do it better. Yeah, this is what I'll do until I figure out a better way to do it. Yeah, but whatever. Any day now. Who knows? Trying my best. Blah, blah, blah. Trying. Whatever. Okay, anyway, so this has been Do Not God video, donotgod.com. donotgod.com. Yes. Video presentation. So, till the next time and such, and so forth and whatnot. Yeah, that's enough.